Hello and welcome to a new episode of Mostly Engineering and another part in our Enigma build series. But first, I want to wish you all of you guys a really happy new year, and I hope you had a really nice holiday season with all your loved ones. And I'm really grateful that you're all here with me on this project. And as this is the first video of 2024, I thought let's take a look back and go over the little and not so little mistakes I made and all the improvements I made to the parts so far. So let's go over to the close-up and take a closer look. So corrections and improvements, and let's start with the metal parts. So we have our sleeves over here, and we have the old version here and then the corrected one over here. And let's see if you can spot the difference. So I aligned them properly, and you can see here that the holes for the clamp assembly aren't aligned properly. So this hole over here is actually the zero line for our whole system, and then the other hole is 13 degrees apart. And the first time around I just went the wrong way. It's as simply as this little mistake with lots of consequences, because now the clamp wouldn't sit in the right position. That means that the digit ring doesn't sit in the right position, and therefore the whole system doesn't work. And so I had to do it again, and this time went the right way. And this is a source of most of the mistakes I made during the build. The right positioning of certain features, because if you look at it on the first glance, a lot of the things on the rotor look like they are symmetrically when they aren't. Secondly, we have some updates to the clamp holders itself. Very nice, like just a production update, and you see this time we got right from the CNC a lot better surface finish, thanks to your advice mostly, because here when cutting the pocket, I offset it by a tenth of a millimeter, and then one cleaning pass to clean up the parts, and there the cutter had to engage only a tenth of a millimeter of material, and therefore right from the get-go we have a lot nicer surface finish. Very nice, and thanks a lot for your advice. So let's come to our 3D printed parts, and here in black we have our first iteration, and in gray our latest one. And first of all, this gray material is a lot more robust than the first one, so that's very nice, and it feels a lot more like bakelite. The color is wrong, but as you can see on the puzzle version, once it's painted it will look apart. And again here we had some problems with the orientation. If you look at the teeth over here and the 4 screw holes, on the first glance you might think, yeah, they are symmetrically to all 4 screw holes, when in fact they aren't, because 26 teeth, and 26 is divisible by 2 but not by 4. So here on this version you have the correct position, where over the A pin the tooth is exactly on the center, and here in east and west direction it is exactly on the border of the tooth. And you see here, by chance, on the first try, I got it wrong. Same is true for the finger ring, and here we can take this example again. Here over the A pin we actually need a hill and not a valley like we have here. And to avoid this mistake in the future, on the back side we now have only 2 locating pins, and in the finger ring we have only 2 responding spots. So the finger ring now can go in only 2 orientations, and both of them are correct. And in the old design with all the 4 locating pins, it could go on in 4 different ways, and only 2 of them are correct. Then we cut some relief for the screws that will bolt the clamp assembly to the sleeve. And then, as you can see here, we also keyed in the lower pin plate, because with the old design this could go on in 3 different ways and only one of them is correct. And now with the key design, this can go on only one way, and that's the correct one. And as you see on the back side as well, we changed the hole geometry here so that now we can push the pin through it and put a little bit of glue in here, and the glue will flow into the right positioning and fix the pins to our lower pin plate. Very nice. And then a lot of trial and error dialing in all the tolerances, and then we made some little changes to the digital ring as well. First, I marked it so that this is the digital ring for rotor 1, because again, on the first glance they look the same for each of the 5 rotors, but if you look closely you will see that the numbers aligning with the notch over here, focus, the numbers aligning with the notch over here are different for each rotor, and so when we are manufacturing all 5 rotors, it's marked so that we don't mix them up. And then the second change, and this is probably very, very hard to spot, is that this wall over here is not straight anymore. It's angled a little bit backwards, so that when we put it over the sleeve, it still has contact and doesn't wobble, but it has contact only on this edge over here, and then it leans backwards so that we have less contact area, therefore less friction, and the ring should move a lot smoother. And lastly, we had to do lots of iterations to find the right print orientation, the right support settings, and you can see, yeah, that is a lot, because especially with this part, it's difficult to find the balance between, yes, the part prints properly, and we have as few supports as possible, because here we have the extreme example where the supports is really well supported, so it prints perfectly, but here the cleanup is near an impossible job, and to dial all of this in takes, as you can see, quite a lot of tries. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have questions, comments, as always, let me know down below, and I try to answer them as quickly and correctly as possible. And all that's left to say now is thanks for watching, and see you at the next time. Bye bye.